everybody. I hope everybody's having a good day. I just wanted to show you, before we get into our cooking video for the day, I wanted to show you something that is very useful in the kitchen. Now this is very old. As you can tell, it's old. But I like my appliances older. They seem to work and last longer than the newer ones. So this is a meat slicer. And yes, it does work. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug it so I don't cut myself. But how to adjust the little tray on the different thickness of meat that you want. So what you do is there is a knob on the bottom that allows you to cut your meat whatever which way, and of course it's going to fall apart. Alright, here we go. Here we go. However thickness you want. I don't know if you can see it. And there's the markings on the side. It tells you how thick it is. You see how it's sliding back and forth? But this is a very good tool to have in the kitchen, especially when it comes to Thanksgiving. Like, you know, those stubborn hams that you get for Thanksgiving, you know. You could either use a meat carver, which I've shown that on the past video, or you could use one of these. Cut you perfect slices. Let me put this off to the side. Very good tool to have in the kitchen. Now today I'm going to teach you how to make some rice and some squash. So let's go ahead and get our squash going. So I have some butter here, which I had to open the second container. I usually save the butter containers for if I've got to feed people or leftovers, or I don't want that much. But it's better to use those to feed people rather than use your own storage containers. Put this over here. Alright, so now we're going to add our squash. These were actually on sale at Food Lion. We're going to add some seasonings to it real quick. We're going to add some garlic salt. And we're going to add a little bit of brown sugar bourbon to kind of tie it into tonight's meal, which should be the video before this one, if you want to watch that. Alright, now let's go ahead and get that going on medium heat. Alright, let me turn this off so you can hear me. Alright, so for rice, it's 2-to-1 ratio. So you always want to add 2 cups of liquid versus 1 cup of rice. Now, this is the leftover juice from the pork chops that I cooked. So it makes a really good rice because the juice seeps into the rice. We might not be able to get 2 cups out of this, but that's okay. We'll just add a little bit of water. There's 1. there's 2. All right, we want to get this going on the stove. Medium heat. And then we want 1 cup of rice. Any rice, really. Just regular rice. Go ahead and give it a stir. So it looks like. Now you want to heat up your liquid, rather it be water or whatever liquid you're using. But since the liquid is already hot from the crock pot, I just went ahead and added the rice. And let's give this a good stir. Alright, and I will be back once these are heated up to show you. And one note before I go. So with rice, if you have broth, or you could do broth instead of water. I've done it in tomato sauce, spaghetti sauce. It's a little bit harder with the tomatoes, like the tomato sauce and tomato paste and all that. It's a little hard, but it can be done. You could also do it with, say you're cooking meat in the crock pot. You can add the remaining liquid from when you pull the meat out, and you know you have that liquid in the bottom of your crock pot. You could add the remaining liquid into for your rice, and it'll help season your rice up, so that way it's not so bland. So I've learned that over the years of being a chef. So we'll be back. All right, welcome back everybody. So this is the last part of our squash, our seasoned squash and our seasoned rice. So now that it's been cooked, look how good that squash is. Look how good it is. And then I'm going to show you the rice. And then I'm going to teach you a trick at the end of this video that's going to help you in the kitchen. Alright, and here is the rice. See how I cooked it in the liquid? It gave it a nice flavor. I didn't have to add any seasonings to it. It was already seasoned from the liquid from the crock pot. But look how delicious that is. Delicious. Alright. So that's our seasoned squash and our seasoned rice. Now, let me get some of this rice up here so I can teach you a trick. Alright. So you know how when you're cooking, say, something that's bubbly, so the best bet to keep it from bubbling over is if you lay a spatula over the top of your pan like this as it cooks. The bubbles will hit the spatula and actually go back down and help keeps the bubbles down and help keep from the bubbles going over the pot. I learned that in culinary school. So, and that's what I did when I made the rice, is I had my spatula over like that while it was cooking, because you know it can get bubbly, and it kept the bubbles from going overboard and all over my stove. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you all have a good day. Bye.